John Wick, tell him I'm ready for the next movie. Right? What's up guys, Muneer Ameer here. Welcome back to another amazing episode of What's Next. And I told you guys, we're always here, we're always doing something different. And of course, always in our Al-Ameen two-piece kurta. And today, we're gonna be shooting. Yalla, let's go.
تذكر يوما كنت تعانق دمعة الفكر تناجي الله في صبر وترجو رحمة تسري فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير.
Okay guys, we're here with Code Black Tactical. We got instructor M here. And he's basically gonna tell us a little bit of what he does and what he's going to show us and give us more or less the basics.
So today we're out here on the range to do some firearm training. So as Mohammed said, my name is Muneef Ameer. I'm from Code Black Tactical. We specialize in proficiency training, but today we are going to do some practical training which involves shooting firearms. We're going to be doing a few basic things. We're going to stress on safety, and we're going to move on to the fundamentals of shooting, and we're going to pull up from there. Let's have an awesome time. Do an inspection, right? We will never ever handle our firearm with anybody in front of us. A few important things when it comes to firearms, right? It's safety, 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 more safety, and we cannot stress the importance of safety, right? Okay, so there's four basic fundamental rules of safety. In no particular order we're going to discuss them, right? So the first one will be finger off the trigger. The finger must always be off the trigger until you are ready to shoot, right? Okay. The only mechanism that's going to make this handgun operate is basically pulling the trigger, right? So finger off the trigger all the time until you are ready to shoot. The next fundamental of safety that we're going to discuss is a safe direction. Purpose of a safe direction is that if an accidental shot goes off, nobody is going to get hurt or there's least amount of damage to property, right? So today, when we are on a shooting range, our safe direction will always be towards our target. That will be our safe direction for today, right? So whenever we are handling our firearm, it will always be faced downrange towards the target, right? The third fundamental or principle when it comes to safety is treat every firearm as if it is loaded. So it doesn't matter whether you have made this firearm safe or somebody has made it safe, you will treat it as if there is a round in the chamber, and you will do a safety inspection. So how would we do a safety inspection? We will step up to the front, we will finger off the trigger, safe direction, magazine out. We will rack our slide and lock the slide up and do a visual inspection. No round in the chamber, no round down the mag well. This step of doing a visual check is absolutely important, right? Because it confirms that there is no round in the chamber, there is no round on the mag well, and we can drop our slide, right? The third fundamental or the fourth final rule of safety is know your target and what is beyond. So what does it mean? So when we are presenting our handgun forward, today we are going to be shooting on a target, but we need to know that when that bullet goes through the target, where is that bullet going to land up? So we have a bunker behind us. So know your target and what is beyond. So these are the four core fundamentals of safety which are not negotiable, right? Okay, we're going to move on to the fundamentals of shooting today. There are 7 fundamentals, so we're going to go through each of them, but I'm going to scrap every single fundamental after we discuss it, and we're going to keep one fundamental. Just keep that at the back of your mind. Let's start off with the first fundamental. The first fundamental is the stance, right? What do you understand by a stance or the purpose of a stance?
So the way you stand and position yourself in order shoot.
100%. Stance means how you present yourself and how you stabilize yourself in order to put a shot down accurately. Let's start off with the first one. So the first one, it's called an isosceles stance, right? Where you are going to place your legs shoulder length apart. You're going to bend your knees slightly and you're going to lean forward, right? One left leg and you have a triangle. So that is what called an isosceles triangle. The stance we're going to discuss is called a Weaver stance or a boxer stance. I know you've done some boxing before. Yeah. Can you show us how a boxer stands? Perfect. Right? So when a boxer stands with his right leg, if he's right-handed, his left leg comes forward. He bends his knees a little bit and his hands come up, right? So the same principle applies. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to extend our hands forward. So from a standing stance, we're just going to drop down on one knee and present forward. Okay. Right? So stay as you are. So now let's see what happened, right? You drop from standing to a high kneeling.
Right.
You created one triangle, two triangles, three triangles, four triangles, right? Every time you create a triangle, you are much more stable, right? Next stance we're going to discuss is called low kneeling. So from low kneeling, the only thing that we are going to do is that we are going to fold our leg underneath us and roll back, and we're going to present in this way. So let's fold our leg underneath us and roll back, right? So let's see what happened now, right? When you went from high kneeling to low kneeling, this entire right leg is making contact with ground. Every time you make contact with ground or something that is stable, you stabilize yourself. Okay. The last thing that we're going to discuss is called prone, right? Prone means what is flat on the ground. So the correct way, or the recommended way, is put your palm down on the ground. You let your handgun forward. It's a kick out, down, legs folded in, and we're on prone position. Prone is the most stable position because there's no room for movement, right? When we're standing, there's room for movement. On high kneeling, there is still some room of movement, but on prone, no movement at all, right? Okay, so the next fundamental that we are going to discuss is grip. How do we grip this firearm, right? Okay. The first thing that we want to do is we want to go high up on the thing. High up on the thing means we want to fit this portion between the index finger and the thumb nice and high up on the thing with no space in between. Your left hand is going to come as a support. We're going to cover up all the grip. Fingers wrapped around, thumb forward, thumb forward. Hold the gun with a weak grip for me, right? So let's do a little bit of science now, right? Newton's law. Newton's law states for every force, there's an equal opposite force.
Right.
Every time you take a shot, the bullet travels out through the muzzle towards the target. But the force that comes out from the muzzle is transferred to the back, right? So we're going to simulate that, right? So if you got a weak, hold with a weak grip for me. See what happens to your handgun. See, on this handgun, the pivoting point is about here somewhere. This gun wants to kick out of your hand. So that is why we want to go nice and high up on the thing to create that resistance. The next fundamental we're going to discuss is sight alignment and sight picture. The rear sight with equal spacing in between.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So if I'm going to hold my handgun about tilted up like this, where do you think my shot will go?
It's going to go higher.
It's going to go high.
Right.
Because the front sight is higher than the rear sight.
Right.
If I'm going to drop it,
it's going to go lower.
Okay. If I'm going to move it to the left,
Left.
to the right.
Right.
So that is why we always want the front sight
To be equal.
in line with the rear sight with equal spacing
100%.
in between. Let's go into a good grip, right? Okay. So now that you understand sight alignment, let's discuss sight picture. Sight picture means where do we want to position this front pin on the target, able to change vision and focus without even anybody knowing. So this is now the theory of sight alignment and sight picture. Okay. So we've discussed stance, sight picture, sight alignment. The next fundamental we're going to discuss is trigger control. If you are going to slap the trigger or yank the trigger or rush this trigger, look at the front of the barrel. It's going to look something like this. Manipulation of your trigger finger manipulated the movement of this gun. So when we are pulling our finger trigger, it's only this movement here, right? From the front to the back. It's not anything like this. It's just a front to the back. Trigger control, you'll be able to take the shot off without any movement of your front side or your rear side, presenting your bullet where you aimed it, right? Good grip, good sight picture, good sight alignment. We are going to, this is called dry work, right? The finger trigger must not disturb. That's what we're aiming for, right?
Right.
Let's rack up again. Good stance, good grip, good sight picture, good sight alignment. So we discussed stance, number 1, number 2, grip, number 3, sight picture, number 4, sight alignment, number 5, we did trigger control. The 6th fundamental we're going to discuss is breathing.
Okay.
By default, we are breathing. We don't want that movement because it's now disturbing
Your
the
sight
alignment of our handgun. Right?
100%.
So the recommended way is take a deep breath in, halfway out, hold your breath, and take your shot.
Yeah.
So how would you present yourself? You put the ball down, you put your club down, look at your ball, you bring your club to the back. As you swing, you'll connect with the ball, and you hit the ball, and you look where your ball is going, right? You'll never see a golfer doing this. No. A golfer will always follow his ball, right? The same principle applies with the handgun. Although we won't be able to follow our bullet, but we will be able to track the shot on our target, right? The trigger, we're going to stay there, right? We're not going to break away from our target and say, oh, okay, there's my shot there.
Right.
Now let's come up again. So we don't want this movement of resetting everything. Follow through means we're keeping our handgun pointed where we need to focus. So if we took a shot and maybe went a bit high, we can make a quick adjustment, low, and take the next shot, and we should be on where we need to be, right?
Okay.
I'm going to scrap all the fundamentals except one. Can you give me an idea of which fundamental that would be?
The grip.
The grip.
Fundamental of having a good grip is to have your shot always on target.
100%, right? Good spot on calling out the grip is the most important fundamental.
Thanks, Boss.
Okay. We're going to discuss a few things when it comes to accessing this handgun, and how do we get to it first of all, because you have to get to it first of all to use it, right? When we were discussing the grip, we said we want to go nice and high up on the thing, right? So because you just went and when you clear, we just want to press down slightly. So when we press down slightly, we are already naturally high up on the thing.
Okay.
Grip. You're going to come up to your nipple and come up. 100%. Much.
Okay, guys, we learned a lot. But now is the main thing. Let's see whatever we've been taught, if we can put it to the test with our Al-Ameen. Let's see. So now I'm basically in the weaver stance, and now we're going to try and clear the firearm and see if we can get a good grip as well. From here, let's see if we can go into the high kneeling. Obviously, there's no restrictions. We got a lot of flexibility. And yeah, I think we're ready to get going. Ready to shoot some bullets. I hope you guys are ready. Yalla, let's go.
As we said earlier on, it's all about safety, huh? So this is not negotiable. Anytime you're on the range, it's always eyes and ears, right? Ear protection, eye protection. You will not walk onto the range with your handgun exposed. It will either be holstered or in a decent carry bag. Yes, now, right? You will only commence shooting upon instruction from the range officer. Today I will be your range officer, and you will only commence shooting on our instruction. Today our safe direction, as we said, is towards the target, downwards, right? You will never handle your handgun if there's anybody in front of you. You will only load when you are on the line.
Okay.
Right? And you'll only commence shooting when instruction is given to you. Okay. We judge a shooter according to the grouping, right?
Okay.
So, if all your shots were going here, but they were all grouped up here, and it's similar with anything, even with archery, right? Your grouping, if it was here, it's not an issue.
Okay.
We're just going to fix you up to go right and come down, but you were consistent. If your shots were all over the show, that means you had bad fundamentals. But because your shots are grouped up, it shows that you had good fundamentals, a good solid stance, grip, side picture, side alignment, and a follow through. Right. Get your handgun and then go into high kneeling. Okay, so let's discuss this shoot. Because you went down into high kneeling, you stabilize yourself much more better, and you are able to produce good shots like this, right? These are actually 3 shots in one.
Hey!
Right?
You seen it, Drake?
And again, the grouping is solid, right?
Yeah.
So, because you employed good fundamentals,
The outcome was perfect.
the outcome was good.
Definitely from John Wick. In the butt bed.
So, the shooting is not bad at all, right? Really, it's not bad. There's actually 2 shots in here, right?
Yeah, okay.
This one went a bit low because you rushed it. So generally when you rush the trigger,
Yeah.
this is the result. That is
Yes.
why we want good trigger control.
Okay.
So when you control your trigger, and you push the even pressure from the front to the back, that is the result.
100%.
So a lot of the times when you're going to slap or you're going to yank the trigger, you're going to start dropping those shots, right? But overall, this is still awesome shooting. Right? I mean, that's an A5 target, right?
Yeah.
If you're talking of man size, translated into that, basically that's portion, right? So you're hitting high, right? So ready? Yeah. Stand by.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, magazine out.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you, Instructor M,
You're most welcome.
or General M. And as you can see,
You're still in one piece.
we're still in one piece. We stood the test of times. And if you want to get in touch with Code Black Tactical, I'll leave all the details in the description below. And if you want to shop our Al-Ameen kurtas, it's also will be in the description below. And yeah, what's next? You never know. Hope you guys ready.